Students, warm welcome to all of you in my class. Students, in preceding classes, we have seen the structure of ovule, that is integumented megasporangium, and the structure of embryo sac, female gametophyte. We have also covered the process of fertilization and the pollination lessons also. I hope all of you have understood it and you are watching the recorded classes, and if you have any doubts, you can call me on the WhatsApp which is on college WhatsApp number. Okay, today in this class I am going to discuss some MCQs which is very important and are previously asked in many examinations like PMT, like MSET. These questions are very important. So let's see what are those questions. So the first question which is on your screen is, the stalk of the ovule is called. So here 4 options are given. A is pedicel, B petiole, C funicle, and D hilum. So let's see what is the stalk of the ovule. Pedicel is the stalk of flower. So this is not the answer. And petiole, it is a slender stalk of leaf. So if leaf is having petiole, it is called petiolate, and flower is called pedicellate. And hilum is a point where the body of the ovule is attached with the funicle. So stalk of ovule, the stalk of the ovule is funicle. So C is the answer. Now let's see the next question. An orthotropous ovule is one in which micropyle and chalaza are. So if you just remember the structure of orthotropous ovule, how it looks, it is a straight type of ovule, and all the 3, that is micropyle, this portion is called micropyle. So the center portion, which is homogeneous mass of cells, it is called nucellus, and the 2 integuments which are ring-like structures, and these integuments are covering the nucellus, but it leaves an opening towards the anterior side, which is known as micropyle. So here this is micropyle, and the back of the micropyle, this portion is called chalaza. So in orthotropous ovule, micropyle, chalaza, and this stalk is called funicle. So all these 3 are lie in straight line. So what is the question here? An orthotropous ovule is one in which micropyle and chalaza are in straight line of funiculus, or first one is the answer, because all the 3, micropyle, chalaza, and funicle, are in the straight line. Whereas B option, parallel to funicle, no, it is wrong, and at right angles to funiculus. The body is right angle to funicle in hemianatropous ovule, and not oblique to funicles. The first option is right. I hope you understood. Now, when the ovule is curved and embryo sac becomes horseshoe shaped, such an ovule is called. See, there are 6 types of ovule depending upon the structure of funicle, micropyle, and chalaza, and inside the embryo sac also. The ovule is divided into 6 main types. So in which type the embryo sac structure is affected? Only in the amphitropous ovule, because the ovule bends and it comes so closer to funicle, so that because of this the structure of embryo sac is also affected and it becomes horseshoe like. So which ovule is horseshoe? In which ovule we can see the horseshoe shaped embryo sac? That is amphitropous. So here the answer is A, Amphitropous. In Sarcinotropous, option B, it is coiled like, the funicle is coiled like watch spring. That means the ovule is first a straight type, again it becomes inverted, and again it becomes straight. So funiculus becomes so long and it coils the body of the ovule. So Sarcinotropous ovule is, this is wrong. In Campylotropous ovule, it is right angle, but the microcoil part is bending and it is coming closer to the funicle than Hemianatropous. So this is also not correct. And in Orthotropous ovule, we have just seen that the micropyle, chalaza and funiculus are in the straight line. So answer is Amphitropous ovule. In this type only the embryo sac structure is affected and it becomes horseshoe shaped. So now let's see the next one. Horizontally oriented ovules are called. The body of the ovule here, if you see, this is the body of the ovule and it is placed in right angle, that means in 90-degree angle to the funiculus. This is the body and this part is called micropyle, M for micropyle, and the back of this is called chalaza, C for chalaza, and the body bends to the right angle to the stalk which is called funiculus, F. So here it is 90-degree angle is formed, that is horizontal to the funicle. So and this type is called Hemianatropous ovule or Hemitropous. So let's see which is answer. Again A is the answer here. It is Hemitropous ovule because in Campylotropous, of course the body bends right in a right angle direction, but the micropylar part, it bends little more. So it is not completely horizontal type. And in Sarcino type of ovule, we have seen that it is very much coiled funiculus with and atropous, that means it is straight. So only in Hemianatropous or Hemitropous ovule the horizontal oriented body is seen. I hope you understood. Now let's see the next one. In angiosperms, the functional megaspore of a linear tetrad is the, see, in angiosperms, he is asking in the angiosperm, not in the gymnosperm. First point, the functional megaspore. Functional megaspore, that means the megaspore which is going to participate in the formation of embryo sac. So 3 megaspores are formed. When megaspore mother cell undergo meiotic division, how many megaspores are formed? 4 megaspores are formed. And out of 4, 3 degenerates and 1 acts as functional megaspore. So here in the microspore case, we told that 3 degenerates and only 1 acts as functional microspore. But here all the 4 megaspore, see, this is the megasporangium, that means nucellus. Inside one cell enlarge and it forms megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell undergoing meiotic division and it formed tetrad of megaspore. These megaspores are linearly arranged, and if 3 degenerate and 1 acts as functional megaspore, that means this megaspore is functional and it is forming the structure of embryo sac. So what is the question? In angiosperms, the functional megaspore of a linear tetrad is first nearest to the micropyle, second from micropyle, and third from micropyle or fourth from micropyle. So it is the first one nearest to the micropyle. Now, the haploid cell which divides by mitosis to form embryo sac is the haploid cell which divides by mitosis to form embryo sac. Which is the haploid cell here? Because if you see the options A, in A, megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell is not haploid. The mother cells are always diploid. So this is not the answer. First is A is not the answer. Next, microspore mother cell. Okay, microspore mother cell is forming microspores. So mother, here also mother cell is not haploid, so it is also diploid. So B is not the answer. Let's see functional megaspore. Of course, this functional megaspore is haploid. So first point is satisfying here. The haploid cell which divides by mitosis to form embryo sac. So the functional megaspore, it undergoes 3 mitotic division. So if you see here functional megaspore, this is the functional megaspore. After the microspore mother cell undergo meiotic division and it form tetrad of megaspore, in which 3 degenerate and 1 remains as functional megaspore. And this functional megaspore, how many mitotic division takes place to form embryo is 8 nucleate 7 celled embryo sac means first mitotic division 2 nuclei are formed. After second mitotic division 4 nuclei are formed, and after third mitotic division 8 nuclei are formed here. And so functional megaspore is haploid in condition which form the embryo sac. So this is how 8 nuclei structure came after the division of first mitotic, second mitotic and third mitotic division. Now let's see next one. Generally, how many megaspores take part in the development of female gametophyte? Generally, how many? Actually, if it is monosporic type, that means 3 megaspores degenerate and only 1 is functional. And this 1 megaspore undergo mitotic division and it forms 8 nucleate embryo sac. That is monosporic type. And monosporic is very common type in angiosperm. It was first in the first plant in which it is identified, that is Polygonum divaricatum by Starzberger. He identified the first functional megaspore in Polygonum plant. So generally how many megaspores? That means only 1 megaspore. But in bisporic type, that means out of 4, 2 degenerate and 2 remains as functional megaspore, and these 2 megaspores participate in the formation of embryo sac. That is bisporic type, but it is rarely seen. And in tetrasporic, all the 4 megaspore all are participating in the nothing is degenerating here. All 4 are participating and it is forming the tetranucleate, 8 nucleate or 16 nucleate type of embryo sac. So, but the common type is monosporic. So generally, he is asking generally how many megaspore? That means 1 megaspore is only participating in the formation of 8 nucleate embryo sac. So here A is the answer. I hope you understood this. Very easy. If the number of chromosome in the root cells is 14, number of chromosome in the root cells, what it is telling here, that in the root cell 14 chromosomes are there. That means root cells are diploid. First you write here, root cells are in 2n condition. So if there are 14, that means n is equal to 14 by 2. That means n is equal to 7. If in haploid, how many chromosomes will be there? 7. But root cells are diploid. So these are diploid. So if the number of chromosome in root cell is 14, that means in 2n condition it is 14. What will be the number of chromosomes in synergids, cells of an ovule of that parent? In the same parent, if root cells are having 14 chromosomes, that means then how many chromosomes will be there in the synergids? That means in the embryo sac, synergids are present in the embryo sac itself. So this is the structure of embryo sac. 2 synergids are present in each synergid, and synergids are in which condition? N condition. Egg is also, this is egg, this is female gamete, or you can say egg. Egg is also in N condition, and both the synergids are also in N condition. Here central cell is present, two polar nuclei form central cell. This is 2n. But polar nuclei are in n condition and antipodals are also n condition. These say. So here, what is the question? If the number of chromosome is in root cells 14, what will be the number of chromosome in synergids? Each synergid is having 7. So answer is 7. If it is a single synergid, then the answer is 7 because synergid is in n condition. So answer here is 7. Now let's see the next one. The point of attachment of funicle with the Chalazal end is called, okay, the point of attachment of funicle with the Chalazal end. At the Chalazal end, at the end of that means the body of the funicle, this is the body of the funicle and this is the chalaza. So at which point the funicle is getting attached with the ovule, that point is called hilum. So answer is D. If you see the structure of ovule, this is the funiculus part and this is chalaza. So body of the ovule, the chalaza, backside of the ovule is getting attached with the funicle and this part is called hilum. Now let's see the next one. Synergids are, just now I told you, synergid singly, each synergid is in haploid condition. So tetraploid, it is wrong. Triploid, no, it is also not. Diploid even, each synergids are in haploid condition. Only N chromosome is there. So D is the answer here. Now let's see next one. Generally, number of integuments in the ovule of angiosperms and the gymnosperms is number of integuments in the ovule of angiosperms and the gymnosperms. Just depending upon the number of integuments, ovules are classified into 3 types. First one is ategmic. Ategmic means A means not one. Here ategmic means no integument. That means no protective layer is present which surrounds the nucellus part. So ategmic without integument, which is generally found in this type of ovule is found in Loranthus. And the second is unitegmic. That means single integument is present, which is the characteristic feature of gymnosperms. And bitegmic ovules are seen in angiospermic plants. So here what is the question? The question is generally number of integuments in the ovule of first angiosperms and next came gymnosperms. So first 2 integuments in angiosperms, in the ovule we have seen 2 integuments are there, and in the gymnosperm there is only 1 integument. So 2, 1. Where is 2 and 1? So this C, in C you can find 2 and 1. So C is the answer here. Now next question. The microsporic structure in flower that contains polar nuclei is, okay, in which structure we can observe polar nuclei? In which structure? In only gametophyte, or in pollen tube, or in embryo sac, or none of the above, none of these. So in which gametophyte? So A is not correct. In which gametophyte? It is not written here. Female or male? It is not mentioned here. So this is confusing. This is not correct. Pollen tube is formed by the pollen grain when the pollen grain fall on the stigma, and inside the pollen tube the generative nucleus divide and it forms 2 male gametes. So polar nuclei structure is not found there. And now if we see the structure of embryo sac, a matured common embryo sac structure, if you observe that, you will find it is 7-celled 8 nuclei. So in these 7 cells, what are these 7 cells? The egg is present at the micropylar end, and both sides of the egg two synergids are present, and these three are called egg apparatus, and in the middle two polar nuclei are present. Two polar nuclei which came from the upper pole and from the lower pole, they move to the center, and these polar nuclei fuses, and later on it forms secondary nucleus and reaches to 2n condition. So polar nuclei is seen in, or it is found in, where? In the embryo sac structure only. And at the chalazal end, antipodal cells are present. So 7-celled 8 nuclei structure is embryo sac, and polar nuclei are present. Two polar nuclei which later on fuses, it form secondary nucleus or central cell, which is the largest cell in the embryo sac. You have to remember this point also, because many of time question is like this: which is the largest cell in the embryo sac? Egg cell. In the egg apparatus, egg is the largest, because two synergids and egg is present. So in the egg apparatus, egg is the largest one. But in the whole embryo sac, if it is a question is asked, then central cell is the largest, because it is formed by the fusion of two polar nuclei. I hope you understood here. None of these is not the answer. Now let's see the next question. Which of the following pairs of plant parts are both haploid? So both parts are. That means both the organs are haploid. Not a single one is diploid here. Both the organs. 4 options are given here, and you have to identify that which two are haploid. So let's see. You have to see all the options first. Antipodal cells and egg cells. Egg cell or antipodal. Of course, antipodal singly it is haploid in N condition. Egg is always in haploid condition. Male gamete is haploid, egg is haploid, synergids haploid, antipodals are haploid. All these are in haploid condition. So, and nucellus. In B option, first one is nucellus. Nucellus is in 2n condition. Funiculus is 2n condition, nucellus is 2n condition, perisperm is 2n condition. So these are diploid cells. So nucellus is 2. Primary endosperm nucleus. I explained you double fertilization. After fertilization, after syngamy, when male and female fuses, the fertilization occurs and the result is diploid 2n zygote is formed. And how primary endosperm nucleus is formed? After fertilization, the remaining second, that means second male gamete, fuses with the central cell. And the central cell is formed by the fusion of two polar nuclei. So here 3 nuclei are fusing. So primary endosperm nucleus is in 3n condition, not even diploid. It is triploid. So 3n. And next C option, if you see, nucellus here diploid and antipodals haploid. Here also antipodal haploid. Megaspore mother cell not haploid. It is mother cells are always diploid. I hope you are understanding this concept. So let's see which, here the question is, which of the following pairs of plant parts are both haploid? Here you can see N and 2N. Here 2N and N, 2N, 3N. So only option A is correct, where antipodal cells are haploid and egg cell is or female gamete is in haploid condition. Next question. Filiform apparatus is found in which part of the angiosperm? In which part of the angiosperm you have seen or you heard this name, filiform apparatus? First of all, let's see what is filiform apparatus. This is these are finger-like projections which is present in the synergids of embryo sac. And what is the function of filiform apparatus? It takes the food from the nucellus and it provides food to the developing embryo sac. First, the filiform apparatus takes the food from the nucellus part and it is providing the food to the developing embryo sac. And it also facilitates the growth of pollen tube into the embryo sac. So, when the pollen tube is coming from the style, it is coming reach to ovule, and again when it is going or pursing the embryo sac, then First, it is attacking the synergids. So the filiform apparatus, these finger-like projections are facilitating the growth of the pollen tube into the embryo sac. So where is this present? This apparatus is found in synergids. D is the answer. Now let's see next one. Mature embryo sac contains, or a normal angiosperm embryo sac at the final stage of development has how many cells? Here not nuclei is not asking about. Most of the students are confused here only. Just how many cells are present at the final stage. How many cells are there? 7 cells are there. If the question is how many cells or how many nuclei are there, that means 8 nuclei. Because if you see, let's draw the structure of, again I am going to draw. This is embryo sac, and here 2 synergids are present, egg is present. So this is one cell, synergids are also, these are 2 cells, one synergid, second synergid, and 2 polar nuclei. These are 2 nuclei, not cells, but they later fuse on and it forms a central cell. So here 2n central cell is formed. So 1 cell here, 3 here, and 3 antipodals are there. 1, 2, 3. 3, 3, 6 plus 1. How many? 7 celled. So a mature embryo sac is 7 celled. See, one more question is there which can be asked. This same question can be asked in a different way. How many cells are present at each poles before the maturation period of embryo sac? That means the embryo sac is not reached to maturity, and before that how many nuclei are present there? Not cells. If we say how many nuclei, of course it is 8 state, but at each pole how many nuclei are present? 4 plus 4 here and 4 here. So before maturity it is 4 plus 4. The structure of embryo sac before the migration of polar nuclei is 4 plus 4. Remember this. Pay attention, students, and remember this. Before the maturity, that means before migration of polar nuclei, the structure of embryo sac is 4 plus 4. But after the migration of polar nuclei, when the upper polar nuclei and the lower polar nuclei migrates and it reaches to the center, then the structure becomes 3 plus 2 plus 3. 3 antipodals, 2 synergid and egg, and here 2 polar nuclei. So the nuclei are arranged in 3 plus 2 plus 3, 8 nuclei structure, and here 4 plus 4 nuclei. But cells are 7. So answer is 7 celled stage. Now let's see the another one. What is the direction of micropyle in anatropous ovule? Of course, a very easy question, because we have seen in orthotropous it is a straight type of ovule, upright ovule. All the 3 parts, micropyle, chalaza and funiculus, lies in the straight line. And in a hemianatropous we have seen that is, it is a horizontal type of ovule, because forming 90 body bends in 90-degree angle to the funiculus. And compyloamphitropous ovule we have seen that the body bends so much and it comes near, the micropyle portion comes nearer to the funiculus. So which is inverted type? What is the direction of micropyle in anatropous? Anatropous is an inverted type. So the micropyle is going in this side, in lower portion, and it comes near to the 180 degree. The body is bending in 180 degree angle. In 180 degree angle. And this is micropyle, and this is chalaza. So body is inverted type. So here see, inverted is written or not? Option A is left. No, left is not right, not correct. Right even is not right, and upward not, and inverted. That means body is inverted type. So this is right answer. D is the right answer. Next. In anatropous ovule, the micropyle is in straight line with the funicle, Okay. In Anatropus just now we have seen it is inverted type. The position of micropyle, the micropyle is in which in straight line with the funicle, in right angle with the funicle, at 40-degree angle with the funicle, or side by side with the funicle. In straight line with the funicle, in right angle with the funicle, side by side with the funicle, because side by side, this is the answer. So because it is inverted, so the micropyle, this is micropyle, you see, this is micropyle, this is chalaza, and the micropyle portion is very near to the funicle, because body bending in 180-degree angle, and it is it comes nearer to the funicle. So side by side. What is the answer? D option is correct, side by side. Now next, the functional megaspore undergoes, okay, megaspore, the functional megaspore, how many division? 2 meiotic division to form mature embryo sac. 2 meiotic division is required. How many divisions are required to form a mature embryo sac? So 2 meiotic, no, 3 mitotic divisions to form mature embryo sac. Okay, 2 mitotic divisions to form mature embryo sac, or 3 meiotic divisions to form mature embryo sac. First of all, in megaspore, meiotic division is not taking place. It is mitotic division taking place. So let's see how this functional megaspore is forming the mature embryo sac structure. See, this is the functional megaspore. Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiotic division, and it forms tetrad of megaspore. Out of 4, 3 degenerate and only 1 remains as functional. This functional megaspore, how many mitotic division is taking place? Let's see. First mitotic. This is first mitotic. After first mitotic division, how many nuclei are formed here? Upper 1 nuclei and second. This is 1 nucleus, and this is in haploid condition. It undergo mitotic division and it form 2 nuclei, 1 upper and 1 lower. Again it mitotic division takes place, and this nuclei form 2 nuclei here, and 2 lower nuclei are formed. Again third mitotic division. How many? 4 towards upper and 4 towards lower side are formed. That means it reached to the 8 nucleate stage. This is, I told you that day when I was explaining that actually it is not 3 mitotic. Here also 1, here again, here, all these are dividing mitotically. But in the book it is written, so you have to by heart only this, that after 3 mitotic division, a functional megaspore is forming a mature embryo sac. The functional megaspore okay. The functional megaspore undergoes 3 mitotic divisions to form mature embryo sac. So what is the answer? B is the answer. Now let's see. It is asked in PMT. Embryo sac is, what is embryo sac? Megasporangium? No, it is not megasporangium, because ovule is called integumented megasporangia. So what is embryo sac called? So it is not, A option is wrong. And megaspore? No, megaspore is not embryo sac, because megaspore develops and it forms embryo sac. And female gametophyte or female gamete. So see the difference. You have to know the difference between all these 4. Megasporangium is, integumented megasporangium is nothing but ovule. And what is the question here? Embryo sac is, that means what is embryo sac? Megasporangium is not embryo sac. Megaspore is not, because megaspore is going to form the embryo sac. So this is not the answer. Female gametophyte. Of course, the C is the answer, because embryo sac is also known as female gametophyte, and inside the embryo sac, female gamete, that means egg is present, egg is formed or egg is present. So egg is also not embryo sac. Only female gametophyte is embryo sac. So this C is the answer. Now let's see the next one. Generally, number of integuments in the ovule of angiosperms and gymnosperms. Already we have seen this, 2 and 1 is the answer. In embryo sac of a typical angiosperm, there are, what are present in embryo sac? Egg, synergids and antipodals. Okay, egg is present, synergids are present, and antipodal cells are also present. But where is the central nucleus? So this is not the answer. This is wrong. Egg, synergids, polar nuclei and antipodals. Of course, egg is there and synergids are present. Polar nuclei which form central nucleus is present, and antipodals are present. So B is the answer. Here what is missing? Let's see. Egg, synergid, central cell and polar. Both are same. So here what is missing? Antipodals are missing. If you see D, egg, synergid, egg is present, synergids and secondary cell. But where is antipodal cells? So this is also wrong. C is wrong. Only B is right. Because all these structures are present. Egg present, synergids present, polar nucleus which later on it forms central cell or secondary nucleus, and antipodal cells are present. So B is the answer. Now, the normal or polygonum type of embryo sac is normal polygonum type, bisporic 8 nucleate, or monosporic 4 nucleate, or tetrasporic 16 nucleate, or monosporic 8 nucleate. This is the answer. Polygonum indivercatum, in this plant we have seen that it is monosporic type. That means only one megaspore is functional and it forms 8 nucleate 7 celled embryo sac. So answer is D. Next question is, the formation of embryo sac is called, what is it called? Megasporogenesis. No, megasporogenesis is formation of megaspores. Megasporogenesis, inside the nucellus, some of the cells enlarges in size and it forms megaspore mother cell. And when the megaspore mother cell undergo meiotic division, it forms tetrad of megaspores. That phenomenon, the whole process is called megasporogenesis. So A option is wrong. Because here what is asking, the question is the formation of embryo sac, not the formation of megaspore. So first option is wrong. And second, megagametogenesis. Of course, megagametogenesis is formed. That means in this embryo sac, egg is going to form. Inside the embryo sac, what is there? Egg. So it is called megagametogenesis. So B option is correct. Not microgametogenesis, it is wrong, because microgametes, that is formed inside the microspores, and none of these is also no. So B is the right answer. Next, in which type whole of the megaspore mother cell take part in the formation of female gametophyte? In which type whole of the megaspore mother cell take part in the formation of female gametophyte? So this question is also very interesting. Just now we discussed about that the embryo sac is of 3 types. In 3 ways embryo sac is formed. If one megaspore is functional and it participate in the formation of embryo sac, this is called monosporic. And if out of 2 degenerated, 2 megaspores participate in the formation of embryo sac, it is bisporic. Here question is the whole of the megaspore mother cell. That means one megaspore mother cell is giving how many megaspore? 4 megaspore. That 4 megaspores are participating in the formation of embryo sac, that type is called tetrasporic. So here B is the answer. Students, I think we have seen some 25 questions from this chapter, and I hope all of you have understood well. So in the next class, in my next class, I am going to discuss some objective bits, some MCQs on the process of fertilization and if possible pollination also. So till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.